It's been a while since we've gone on a full garden tour, so let me put my shoes on. I could do most of it barefoot, but not all of it, because I can't walk. When I was a kid, I could walk on the gravel, but no more. One shoe on. Two shoes on, we're ready to go. One beautiful cat, one napping cat. One bowl full of agates. Some beautiful honeysuckle. Hummingbirds like those. We don't have our fountain on today. It was on yesterday. I have a beautiful yellow rose. Let me zoom in. You can see it. Oh, there's one over there that's just coming out. And down here, beautiful pink one. Down here, some beautiful red ones. Over here, some more red ones. Earlier this morning, I was going to take a picture of this. It's California poppy, but it's like a double poppy. It isn't just a single flower like poppies. It's evening time, so it's all folded up right now. I should have taken a picture of it this morning when I saw it. I was going to, and then I just didn't do it. That's a calendula. Eggplant, a Tiny Tim tomato. A pepper. It has been blooming, so hopefully I get some peppers on there. Another eggplant with a Tiny Tim tomato. I planted this from seed, out of a seed packet, but I failed to label it to know what it was. When I ate a leaf, I'm wondering if it's a type of basil maybe. It tastes a little bit like it. It didn't hurt me. I know you're not supposed to eat something you don't know what is, but I did plant it. It's got a purple flower on it. My arugula and lettuce has gone to seed. I have a sunflower here, which is probably about 4 feet tall. Another Tiny Tim tomato right there. And I don't know what this yellow plant is, flower is. I don't know if it's a weed or the inside there's a pepper, which has never gotten big. But that's pretty, if anyone knows what it is. I don't think I planted it. I think it might be a weed, but I like it. It's pretty. Over here I have amaranth. And down below it is some lavender. These are my basils here. There's an eggplant stuck in there too, but the basils, this one's gone to seed. Or not to seed, to flower is what I meant to say. I have lots of hens and chicks in there. My hand smells good now that I've been rubbing the basil. Okay, along here I have, well, let me just go over here. Blueberry plants. And then I planted some borage. Oh, and let's see, there's some sorrel. I think this one might possibly be borage also. It's gotten quite a bit bigger, and some squash plants that I planted, they're not getting very big. This rose was alive, doing well at the beginning of spring, and I've tried to keep it watered, but I believe it's died. And some more squash plants. This is a walnut tree. I tend to have them all over my yard, and most of them I try to cut down because I don't want them, but I thought maybe I'd let one grow so that someday can have walnuts. I don't remember the name of this pink flower, but I like it. And over here are my petunias. I have a squash growing. This is my desert display. Rhubarb, tomato, and this one hasn't gotten any blooms on it yet. I planted some beets in there with it. You can see them, and some there too. They've kind of gotten eaten by bugs. That's an okra, and I think I have a I've forgotten the name of it growing in there with my okra. These are collards, mint, eggplant, onions. I believe these are radishes. They never did really, I didn't notice that they made radishes, but they're blooming. Eggplant and different type of mint. I had some more amaranth in there, but it seems to have not liked it too well. There's some peppers in there, just small. More mint. I planted dill in there, but it died. And this tomato has tons of tomatoes on it. This one has a couple of, and it's in bloom. Okay, I had high hopes for this area, but it has turned into a weed patch. I've got all kinds of thistle. That was my lily that bloomed so pretty earlier. And I don't know what this is, but I don't like them. I have them all over. And does anybody know what the name of this weed is? I would like to totally eradicate it. Looks like I have some calendula coming on down there too. More thistle and bothersome weed. So there's some squash plants back there that aren't doing very well. My lilies have quit blooming. There's another borage. More of this. It gets a fuzzy on the end when it finally, I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. More squash. Buried in there, more squash, and then a type of dandelion. And more thistle, walnut, more borage back there. And I planted a butterfly bush, which seems to be holding its own among all the weeds. More squash, And this mint, cat mint, has just taken over this area right here. Very big, very much in bloom too. Well, there's another squash plant back there among the. And then I have a plant back there that's infused in here with my black-eyed Susans and irises. I was wondering what it was, this other plant with the purple flower, but I found out it's nightshade and it's poison. But right now it's a little hard to get in there and get it. It has these pretty purple flowers on it. And then it makes these berries. And it is poison, as near as I know. Last year, these roses that I have in here, wild rose, they got these fuzz balls on them. I understand that's a type of a bug. So when fall comes and the leaves all come off of everything, I'm going to try to eradicate the night, what did I just say it was? Well, the poison one. Can't remember what I just told you it was. All these little green, kind of dusty green colored ones, part of them are in bloom. These are the ones that are so brilliantly yellow in the spring, and it's a ground cover and it's been doing a good job. Here's another butterfly bush that I planted. Let's see if I can make that bigger so you can see it. And I don't know how big those are supposed to get, but eventually it will. And that looks like a Swiss chard. I planted some, actually I forgot the name of what I was going to talk to you about. That's okay. I won't talk to you about it. Oh, my onions down here are more than ready for me to pluck out of here. Make that smaller so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. The one. Well, the top came off of that one, and it doesn't want to pop out of the ground. There we go. That was a tricky onion. Okay, I got 3 onions there. Okay, I believe this is a pumpkin. And I've got, well, more calendula. Okay, so that one looks pretty good. Well, it's kind of been in the sun. That looks worse for wear, as does the first one that was on here. See, that one's not going to be any good. But I think I've got more. There's a little one down in there. Yeah, there's one over there. I don't know if you can see it. But I cut down a lot of those big weeds that I don't know the name of. Over here it was just, they were all over the place. And they don't pull out of the ground very easily. So I know they'll come back. Oh, this one. Let's see if I can get down here close to it. I believe that's mallow. It's a weed and it's kind of annoying, but supposed to taste good, so sunflowers that probably aren't going to get big enough to bloom. Some more squash. Another squash plant. More weeds. Those ones I don't like. And my potatoes. There's a rose bush kind of overshadowing them. These look like they might be ready for me to dig. I should get out here and do that. And Creeping Charlie or Virginia or whatever it's called. And another, I think it's another walnut tree or some kind of a tree that I don't want. These potatoes are ready to dig too. Potato digging time. They're pretty. These are kind of past their prime, these pretty pink flowers. And this is a, I believe yucca, is that what that is? I believe. Here we have more petunias. I finally deadheaded my daisies. Most of them were totally spent. There's one that's still in bloom. And over here, this other plant that has pretty little purple and white flowers on it. And that I've deadheaded most of those too. I still think there's something that comes and sleeps in there at night because that always looks squished down. There's more petunias. I think I planted a lemon balm right there. And those are violas. There's some violas in here too. Viola, can you see it? There it is. Mixed in with some mint. And I can't remember the name of this plant right off the top of my head. But it's a very pretty one. It's got pretty leaves. And I think I showed you those petunias already. Over here, my beans are starting to get some blooms on them. And there's more squash. I planted some potatoes back there. I just planted them so they haven't come up yet. Arugula that's past its prime. I dug out all the potatoes that were right here and I planted some kale seeds. They haven't come up yet. Just planted them a couple of days ago. My corn, which I'm enjoying growing, but I don't think I'm going to get any corn. It's the middle of August, and these are like knee-high by the 4th of July. No, thank you. They're knee-high by the middle of August. I don't think I'm going to end up with any corn. My scarecrow's been scaring the corn from growing, I guess. There's my compost pile. It's getting pretty big. And somebody was asking me about how my worms were doing. I was just in here this morning giving them some food. Okay, so I will dig into this and show you. I dig down in here. Yes, you can see I've got worms in there. And I know if I dug down further, I'd see more. It was getting pretty dried out, so I gave them some water this morning. So it's a little bit damp right now, but we'll put all these cardboards back on here. Last year I tried to grow things along this area with no luck, so this year I didn't do a thing to it. Got mallows coming up and that's about it. And even one of those plants that I don't like. Kind of has a dandelion looking flower on it when it blooms, but it's obviously not a dandelion. I don't know what it is. I just know it's a nuisance. So I'm gonna walk over here toward my rock garden, and I need to clear the grass out. That's, I don't know what flower that is, but it's getting ready to bloom. And these are calendulas, a dandelion. I need to pull the grass out. A calendula. I don't know what this one is. The leaf is different than the calendula. Very large dandelion. There, those two pots are on their side again. I have no idea why they keep getting tipped over. I have a feeling it's a squirrel. So, no water in it again this summer. But then we've been working on our non-existent kitchen. We haven't had a kitchen since the middle of June, and I have to wait one more week. We finally got the cabinets, got them put in. We're just waiting for the countertops. I think this tree is pretty. So I'll walk over here past my blue spruces. And I believe this is a wild blackberry, and it hasn't, let's see if I can get, yeah, very little. It hasn't, they haven't ripened yet. Oh, I will take that back. There's some down here that have. How about that? Let me go ahead and, nice and ripe. And there's some in there that are, that's ripe. The others aren't quite ripe yet. There's, yes. I love the taste of wild blackberries. Okay, so let me take you to my garden, the part that's really a garden, and I'll show you what I've got here. I have kales that are coming on. I believe that one's a Cosmo, that flower. Some, those are Walla Walla onions. I've picked part of them. They didn't get very big, but I should be making you, zooming in a little bit so you can see better what I'm talking about. There we go. And there's some more kale. I believe that's called Russian kale. That's a lemon tree. A lemon tree, a cascade tomato, I forget the name of that weed, but it's good for you. And where am I at here? Another lemon tree, Swiss chard, and calendulas. When I picked a lot of the lettuces that I had in there, and since they are kind of at the end, a little bit bitter, so I'm drying them to put in my grinder and make powder for smoothies. And I just planted some in between the two poles here. I planted some peas just a couple days ago, so those haven't come up yet. And a squash plant. Over there I've got some tomatoes and calendulas and some, I believe that's dinosaur kale. Yes. Okay, and over here, my strawberries are looking good. This one plant on the end has been producing berries lately. It's a different kind of strawberry than the rest of the strawberries. Oh, my parsley has gone to bolt. Let me come back over here and show you my tomatoes. I've been trying to stay on top of ripe ones, or I pick them before they're totally ripe so that they don't get eaten by birds or whatever. And my very, very, very tall pepper plant, which I know I should have done something about pruning it so that it made peppers instead of height, but it's been fascinating to watch, like I said earlier. This, speaking of peppers, that one's getting pretty good sized. Look at that. Okay. I don't think I have any of the little narrow ones right now. I have plucked those and made some salsa for my husband with tomatoes and peppers and cilantro and some various spices that I put in there, onions and garlic. That squash plant is getting quite large, and pretty little white flower that I can never remember the name of. Radishes that have gone to seed. Another kale plant. There's another kale down there. I picked some big leaves off of it earlier today. And my very tall fennel. And over here I have my okra, which is getting taller. I hope it's able to actually give me some okras before summer gets all over with, because I've never grown it before. Here I have some, I believe that's some lettuce and some beets, spinach in the container, my 1 beet per container. Oh, and there's my red vein sorrel and calendula, a little bitsy one. I plucked part of it today, rosemary. And these are some arborvitae trees that I started last year, and they're still alive. And this, what I planted was stinging nettle, so I don't know if that's what that is. Might be, I can't tell. It's not tall enough for me to really get stung, although it seemed like it might have been my imagination that I could feel something. So let me come up on the porch. I still haven't put out my, let me make that smaller, my containers. I'm waiting for my hubby to put holes in the bottom of those, and then I'll turn them into planters. Here's a mint plant. I started some rose starts. Well, oh, wish me luck. I planted, I believe these are cabbages, a few days ago, and they all popped up, and that's the one that the label says stevia, but I'm almost positive it's an amaranth. And a strawberry. A few onions that I picked already. I should take you indoors and show you. My spare bedroom has a whole bed full of things that are drying, things that are curing: onions, garlic, mint, various greens, just a whole lot of things. And back over here, looking at the sleeping cat. Over here we have rhubarb and roses and some potatoes in a grow bag, some irises, and my, ouch, not a liver. Okay. Oh, I was going to show you what I did here. I have 2 containers that I'm putting strawberry, oh, you know, the little tendrils that why is it terminologies go out of my brain when I go to talk about them? Anyway, to make more strawberry plants. And when those get fully established, I will detach them from the mother plant. The apples are going to be ripe before you know it. They're looking pretty good. We don't, I think I mentioned this before, we don't spray them, so we do have to share them with the worms, but that's okay. We get plenty. And I just have one more area to show you before I sign off for the day. I know garden tours are a little longer of a video than, well, than sometimes. Okay. This one is blooming. That is the long cucumber. And it hasn't made any cucumbers yet. I don't seem to have any cucumbers right now. I've picked several, but right now all I see is blooms. So I will have more shortly. Squash, grapes, squash, sunflowers, grapevine. The ones I transferred out are still doing fine. This is one that I planted last year. Squash, beans, grape that I thought was dead but isn't, calendula, and a sunflower that hasn't bloomed yet. And we've been harvesting lots of blackberries, and there's still more to come. These are not the wild ones like I was showing you earlier. These are domesticated ones. I believe they're thornless, which is nice. It's not quite ripe. It looks ripe, but it is not quite soft enough to be ripe. Wow. Yummy. But I do prefer the wild ones. My poor raspberries, so many of them went to waste this year because they came in ready to harvest right when it was impossible to harvest them. I've picked a lot of the mint, and that's rue, but I never pick it because I don't really have anything to use it for. More catmint. This is in a pot. I think I will bring you in and show you all the stuff that I have drying on the bed. You can see my kitchen. I finally have cabinets in. We still don't have the dishwasher or the stove in, and we're waiting for the countertops to come. But we're almost there. There's my stove in the middle of the living room floor. This is my cat collection. Can you tell I like cats? And so I'll come back here. You can tell I turned the light on. This is kind of a cluttered because it's got all kinds of stuff in it. But here's my... These are all onions. These are all garlics. These are all onions. These 2 sacks have seeds from kales and cabbages. There's some tomatoes, which we haven't eaten yet. Some zucchini seeds drying. Some potatoes that I have harvested. And over here I have an empty container for harvesting things. My seed collection. Mint. Basil. And this is just a myriad of different kinds of greens that I'm drying. And I'm going to smush them up in my grinder. I'm having a nice green powder. So, over here I have some kombucha that I'm fermenting. So, let's go back outside. And oh, what a lazy bones. Well, that's my tour. Like I said, it's been a while since I did a full-blown tour. It takes a while. That's why I don't think I do it very often. I usually just give you little bits and pieces. But this was pretty much a full tour. I hope that you've had a good day, a wonderful day. May the good Lord richly bless you. This is Darlene from Darlene's Garden at Markward Meadows in Athena, Oregon, signing out and saying, may the good Lord richly bless you. Until next time.